Good people, y'all know what time it is. It's another Wednesday night. This week, it's a little different. I'm gonna just set it off by saying we've been building to what happened since week one. We come on here last week before that, first week. Keep playing like this, somebody gonna get you. You're gonna get got. We got. Benny doing the one eye in the camera thing, but hey, it's all good. It's your boy Cool McCain back for another episode. Eagles Elite. Joined on this side by Mr. Benny Boom Designs. The angle below Mr. Benny Boom Designs. Key in the building. And then right there, below me, the Eagles Diva. We in the building for another episode. We're going to break down this game from this past week. I'll give a lot of thoughts. We're going to spend some extra time on that. We'll give you news and notes and all that, injury updates, all that good stuff. We're also going to, of course, preview the game tomorrow night against the New York Football Giants. We'll talk about our thoughts on that. And also added a question to pose to the good people on the panel tonight. And I would love for you guys in the comments to also answer this question, right? And just to go ahead and preview and let y'all know what that question is. Let me make sure I get it right. I'm pulling it up because I'm going to make sure I ask you guys a question as I asked it in the chat. Because, sometimes your boy be remixing questions. So the question as it was posed, and by the way, all this Keely Ringo stuff is really tripping, but that's neither here nor there. So the question is, what do the Eagles need to do to fix this team? That's the question, right? Of course, we're going to go over elite performance, weakest link, all that good stuff. So make sure you're rocking with your boys and your girls because we about to get it right for you. We about to get it right and get it tight. But before we do that, we need to get that little bit of extra hypeness that we need every week. And y'all know how we get that. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it do. That being said, let's get to it.
This on it. The kick is away. And the kick is it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right, y'all. It's real simple. We're going to start with Benny Boom. We're going to go around. One update, news, or note that you want to drop to let the people know, and we're just going to go around. So, Benny, one piece of news or note.
Good news that I heard that Kobe Dean was a full participant at practice. So he will get some PT this week. Not a lot, but enough just to get his feet wet. Once again, Keely Cement Foot Ringo would start at CB2. Hopefully,
one piece, Benny. One piece,
one
Benny.
piece.
One piece. Key. Next, please. Come on, man. We do this every week, bro. Come on, man.
Jalen Carter. He was limited not only with a shoulder injury. Come to find out, this man got a heel injury too, but he's still battling through it all. So, this rest after this Giants game is going to be needed. 10 days of rest. These players going to need it after that. So, but JC a little banged up, but he's still going out there causing havoc. So,
Diva.
We are without Grant Calcaterra. So hopefully Dallas Goedert can stay healthy because Calcaterra could possibly be out for a little bit.
Hopefully. Not putting too much faith into that, but yeah, definitely. Hopefully. I'm gonna go with a little juicy piece of news since y'all left it for me. So there was a meeting that was held between one Jalen Alexander Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and Arthur Von Brown. I ain't gonna mess up Saquon's middle name, so I ain't gonna say it. But they had a meeting to kind of iron things out, get things on the same page. The context of the meeting has not, of course, been released. We probably won't find it out for months or maybe after the season or whatever. What I'm hoping happened within that meeting is AJ and Saquon looked Jalen Hurts square in his eyes and say, look here, man. This dude is calling some questionable BS. So what we gonna need from you, QB1, is you get your ass up in that huddle and you make the right changes so that we can do what we need to do. You've been in the NFL long enough. They call some garbage, audible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be some stuff with, every once in a while it's gonna be like a little play that go wrong, crazy stuff like that. And it's just part of it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we need you to put us in better positions. Now, then both eyes should have turned to AJ Brown. No more talking to me about no foolishness, bro. And we need you to run through every play. Because even if you don't see the ball, it could be there. Run through the play, get it done. Saquon, we know you got a little bit of a knee injury, but we're going to need you when you be out there to do your thing. If you feel like you need to come out because of the knee, that's all good. We got other guys out there. But we need to get a little bit of that shiftiness back, and it could be the reported knee issue is just stalling or slowing down some of his bounce. And we all need to get on our groups, right? QB, that's the line. Make sure the protections and stuff is right. Getting on dudes like he was doing the other game. AJ, you the leader of the receiver group. Getting on them boys. They run through these routes, do all these things. You got to do it too. Saquon had them backs ready. You know what I'm saying? AJ had them tight ends ready too. So it's one of them things where I think they getting together, get on the same page, understanding that the offense has got to at least be solid for us to really do the things we do while they're, getting their feet together. You still got to deal with an OC. So you can't just say F everything he does. It's not how it works. But you can by look, this play is garbage with this look, audible out of it. And I think everybody's trying to just encourage everybody getting by the same page and, make this thing work. That's at least what I'm going to believe is happening. I'm going to go in reverse order and see if Diva, then Key, and then Benny has any comments they want to add about this meeting.
I think the meeting needed to be had for those players specifically because the whole problem with that game was execution. Like, execution was not there with that game. Like I said, AJ said he didn't see the ball, but you always got to be looking for the ball. You're a receiver, so you always got to look for the ball no matter what, especially in that position because you never know when he's going to throw the ball down deep. That last Hail Mary, I don't know what the hell AJ was doing, trying to take the ball away from Smitty, but that possibly could have been a touchdown. So really just getting on the same page about executing. I think they also probably should have had a meeting with the line as well, because I'm noticing this year the line is not moving and shifting. They're not able to create the holes they created last year for Saquon to get through those holes. I also think that, maybe I see a lot of plays where I think A.J. Dillon should be used a lot more in certain situations. I think he can gain a little bit more ground because people haven't planned for him. He didn't play at all last year. So using him, switching up the flow of the running game, not always using Saquon, especially running him up the middle, especially if the line is not creating those holes for him to get through the middle. But I think that was very needed. I did like the quote from Smitty when he said that they need to start using signals. I think that would be helpful. So players know where to be and when he's going to throw the ball. Use signals. I mean, most elite quarterbacks use signals, or kind of let the receiver know where to go. I'm about to throw you the ball. Make sure you're in your position. So I think that was a very much needed meeting for them to get on the same page, for them to say yes. Sometimes we're going to have to call plays because we on the field. We can see. You know what I'm saying? They're on the sideline. And if that play ain't working, then you got to call something different. Just like, the play with Saquon. Key said that wasn't even a playbook. So evidently that was something Jalen decided to do. So we need more of that.
Key.
Well, it's good that they have something amongst themselves. I was, definitely waiting. As far as the line, I know we've been banged up. I was even watching Brian Baldinger. He was breaking down his one play when the line protected Jalen down to the T of perfection. Jalen could have wrote a letter, told his wife he loved her, asked her to make him a sandwich, and do all this other stuff before he delivered the ball. Nobody could get open, and he had to roll out. So I don't think necessarily as far as, the line is doing what they can. When it comes to running, I think it's because Petrulio loves to run Saquon up the middle, and it doesn't work when teams are stacking the box on you. They already know what Saquon's going to do and what he's capable of. Man ran for 2,000 yards. So you mean to tell me we're not going to stack the box on a 2,000-yard receiver? Absolutely we are. So that's when they got to get shifty and let him bounce it outside. When he bounced it outside, he scored his highest amount of yards, y'all. His highest amount of yards, and this is about to be week 6. You mean to tell me Saquon Barkley's longest run is 17 yards? Why did he get 17 yards? Oh my God, it was the outside play. It wasn't up the middle. Y'all have to be creative and get him on the outside. Cut him left and right to be open because everybody's gonna stack it. So they should have maybe a couple people from the line, if not all of them, maybe not Landon, either like Lane or Jordan, someone in that group should at least been a part of it. And they could have went back amongst all the other offensive line people. But yeah, I think it's good that they have that early. Like Cool said, I would have been like, look here, AJ, shut up. Let's go out there and do your job. Run these routes. Same thing. I'm sure they telling Jalen stuff. Hey, look for us before you start to roll out. But sometimes he ain't got no choice to roll out if the line is collapsing on him. So, but I like the positivity. We're not negative about things. We moved on. It's the Giants now. Denver is out the way. I'm sure they watch them and do whatever they do in a short week. So I feel like we're bounced back from this game. It's the Giants. I'm not taking anything lightly.
That's the game yet.
I know, but I'm just saying it's the Giants. But yeah, it's all positive.
Vinny, your thoughts on the meeting?
So me?
Yes, sir. You are the only Benny on here, sir. I'm just messing with you.
Agree what you said and about this meeting. Jalen been here just as long as Kevin Petrullo. He had different OCs, and you learn from one of the best coaches in college football. And with that being said, I liked it better when AJ and Jalen was on the same page. It wasn't that much friction going on. Wasn't that much talk. And, they played ball. If we can, I hope they got it. Whatever the issue is, I hope they squashed it and realized this is not a me thing or an I thing. This is a team thing. Let's get back on that page and let's run some ball because you got the talent. Coaching suspect, but the talent is there.
All right. So continuing on around, any more news, Benny?
Well, we said all the news. Oh, one other thing I heard. It's just a rumor, so it haven't been official or anything. Everybody know that the Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat, and if they end up losing this week, he will be out of the job. And it's been said that they might be calling him in as a consultant to help Kevin Petrulo.
All right, Key, any other news?
No, I think that was really it. Just the people that was in practice. Carter was limited. Everybody else is full participants. So I mean, it's nothing major. Just only like major was, that of course that meeting.
All right, Diva, anything else from you, ma'am?
Nope.
All right. So I'll throw out, we could talk about this later, but I'll go ahead because it is kind of, excuse me, news-ish. So, Darius Slayton is going to be out for this game. Also, Swayze Bozeman, one of their linebackers, as well as Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, is going to be out as well. Flanagan-Foles is a hamstring. Bozeman is an ankle. So there's some key contributors that won't be there for the game tomorrow night. I figure I might as well just go ahead and throw that up on the news thing. I know y'all ready to get to the rest of the parts, so we're gonna go ahead and make that happen. All right, guys. So we did talk about updates. So now I know it's time for it. All right, Key, we're gonna go with you first. Who was your elite performance of the week?
God. Jesus. Can't even think of one right now.
He's always my
elite performer. Can't say Jake this game because he didn't really kick nothing. I guess I'm gonna just say Jalen, only because he didn't turn the ball over. I mean, he could have done more. He almost had 300 yards. Did have some tubs under him. I mean, he did get sacked, but that's not all his fault. So I give it to Jay Hurts only because he didn't turn the ball over and I lost.
All right, Diva, who do you have as your elite performer of the game?
Shadeed Campbell is my elite performer of the game. Well, I've been playing outstanding lately.
You said who?
Campbell.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. You was low. Jahad Campbell.
Yeah.
All right. Benny, who's your elite performer?
Smitty. He came up big, made some big catches. I mean, nothing fancy, but he tried to put the team on his back. Every target that he got, he tried to make the best of every target, and he did.
So through about 3 3/4 of the game, mine was going to be Zach Bond. But then uncharacteristic hoopah from him. So I'm gonna go with the big cat again, Jordan Davis. He out there getting it done. He's attacking. He's doing everything that he can do to help the team win. Jalen Carter's, been limited with the injuries, but Davis has been more than not filling in the spot, but filling in the production as best he can for Jalen Carter as well as some others. So I'm going to definitely get that to the big cat, Jordan Davis. All right, so here's one that I'm sure there's
honorable mention.
I mean, if you got one, go ahead, go for it.
Aziz. He came in. I was like, "Who's number 13?" Oh snap! I forgot he playing today. He was in places when we needed him to be. So he's my honorable mention.
I just want to throw out there because I'm a little bit of a petty person at times. I'm in one of those moves today. But you could have used him the first time. Just saying. But it's all good. I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just.
I wasn't thinking of that the first time. Leave me.
It's been a tough day. I was. All right, y'all. So y'all know what's next. Got to get in that weakest link. All right, Benny.
First, and we went through.
I gotta go with the O-line.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Kevin Stinking Petula every week until he comes up with a better way to consistently use players. I will say I feel like he was a little bit better this week, but I still think we did some stuff that worked, and then we ain't going back to that no more. Like, what is you doing? Like, every time in the second half, it's like, bruh, or the first half, or in this game, the first and the fourth quarter, we're just going to take our foot off the gas and hope we win. We're not going to try to run the ball. We're not going to try to get some short plays. We're not going to try to extend drives. We're not going to do none of that. We're going to go 3 and out because we're going to do 3 dumb plays that don't work. We're not going to try to do things that did work. Or if we do and they don't work, we're not even going to try anything else that worked. We're going to throw the ball. This is the play that ticked me off the most that Petula called, right? He called a screen to Devontae Smith with one blocker in front of him. And Devontae Smith is the smallest player on the team as far as height and weight together. How is that going to work? Who is he going to get around? What tackle is he going to break? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even to me necessarily the play calling itself. At times it's the play calling. At times it's like the formations that you're setting people up in. You're going to throw a screen. It's got to be Dotson or Brown. It cannot be Devontae just because he's not going to break tackles. He doesn't have the girth to break tackles. So you got to understand your personnel and who you're using where. That's between it and play calling, just the whole overall play calling, it's going to be Petula until this offense is consistently good. And honestly, even if we won, it would have been him because we would have won off a couple of big plays. But still, you're not doing a good enough job overall. Diva, who you got?
Man, I got Vic Fangio.
Okay.
As my weakest link. Because we were not stopping the run. He is consistent with these garbage CB1 and 2s on the right-hand side, which eventually had an impact on Quinyon Mitchell. And Vic.
All right, and Key.
Gotta go with Keely Ringo. Mr. I can't cover. He just like a Dory Jackson. Just that's what I'm gonna say. Keely Ringo.
I mean, honestly, this one we could definitely go back around again, but we ain't gonna waste the time. So, keeping it moving.
You want to hit the comments? Because we got a few comments.
We're going to review the previous game, and then we're going to go to the comments and just hit everything that's in the comments. All right. And, we can go ahead and do the comments. Eva wants to go ahead and do the comments. We'll go ahead and do the comments. All right. So my boy Nicola is in the building. Block 83. He says, "How's it going? Cool breeze in the Elite Eagles." What's up, Nicola? All right, then we got King DV in the building. King DV says, "What's good, y'all?" And 3 fly Eagles fly. So 3 birds fly, Eagles fly. What up, DV? He says, multiple hour positive meeting for me, referring to the meeting that we were talking about earlier. Philly says, "Fly Eagles fly." What up, Philly?
What up, Philly?
All right. And Lil G Griffith, "I'm a big fan of Eagles season. Better Eagles kick Giants' butts." And then he went ahead and gave us his score prediction, 27-15, Eagles over Giants. Shoot, we scored 27 points away.
The Giants going to get 5 field goals.
Shoot, we scored 27 points away. We've been playing. I'll be happy.
Right.
Great. But hey, I feel you, Lil G. You got to be somewhere. So yeah, now we'll review the game. So the way we're gonna do this a little bit different, y'all. We're gonna really kind of dig into this one a little bit because this is the one that I feel like has been coming. I feel like last week really should have shown them, like, bro, we can't do this, and it didn't. So now we got where we're at. So first question I have for you. Do y'all feel like there was a point in the game where we were really calling consistent good plays? Because normally we say the first half or the second half or these quarters or whatever. Do y'all really feel like it was a point where we were consistently calling good plays in this game? I think Benny has something to say, so we'll start with you, Benny.
No words. You want to know why I'm shaking my head like this?
Sure.
Because one, I've seen better play calling. And when I saw better play calling, Shane Steichen.
Okay, we get that.
It was a balance.
We get that, but what I'm asking you, the question I'm asking you, sir, is at any point in this game, did you feel like there was quality play calling? We get that he's not a good play caller.
No, not at all.
There's no question that
Shane Steichen, not at all. The only good play was the wheel route that we said earlier that Jalen called. Because we always sitting there, doing a live. I mean, we always talking, but we wasn't hyped about the game. So I ain't see nothing that really made me say, okay, we on track.
Okay.
I was just like AJ with, here come the inconsistencies. Here it comes.
All right, Key.
They would have kept it going the way if the first half would have went into the second, then yeah, but it wasn't.
So are you saying the first half was called good? Because I'm asking, was there any point in the game?
It was still boring to me.
No, not. So is that a no?
That's a no.
All right, Key. Your thoughts?
Maybe I guess that first quarter. Maybe going into the second, I feel like it was, because we was mostly the drives we were scoring, and then it just got flat, couldn't do anything. So it wasn't a full 60 minutes of straight football. It was still that one quarter, one half. We score, and then the next half we take the day off. No, so it was maybe 1.5 quarters of consistency, and then it fell off.
All right, Diva, do you feel there was any point in the game where there was consistent good play calling?
No, it was sporadic and it was boring. Probably the worst play calling I've seen for this season. Very sporadic.
So I'm gonna say I thought the first quarter was pretty solid. I think what quarter was that? That wasn't it the third where AJ stopped running and then what you call it stepped out of bounds too on the big play. If I remember, I think that was the third quarter. So I feel like the first and the third were pretty decently called because if AJ makes the catch, if Dotson's not out of bounds, those two plays, if we have those being made being executed properly, then we still win, right? Game still not happy about it because we keep stopping, but we up enough where we win. So I think there was some consistent play calling in the first and the third. I think the second and the fourth were like the worst executed and called, some combination of those two, probably all season. And that's including the fourth quarter in game one where they were just out there playing backyard football, it seemed like. Keep away or whatever. But just disappointed in how things went. So let's talk about some execution. We've acknowledged the play call. So the execution, what are y'all's thoughts on the execution in this game by the offense? Diva, I'll swing back to you first for this one.
Execution was garbage. I mean, there was a lot of penalties on both sides of the ball. The offense had a lot of penalties, illegal man down the field, illegal motion, shifting of the line, just stupid plays. Then you had AJ not seeing the ball. Jahan, I mean, he wasn't really paying attention to where his foot was. Sometimes you got to stretch out for those balls. You know what I'm saying? I think it was one where Jalen threw to AJ, and yeah, you got to stretch out for that, man. Like you got to stretch your body out for that so you can catch that. So the execution was not there by no means. Like I said, that Hail Mary was horrible. I think we need to go practice more of those because I don't know what AJ was doing. He was on the defensive side on the Hail Mary. Like that would have been a touchdown. But yeah, just the discipline was not there. The execution was not there. It was horrible.
All right, Keith, same question.
Yeah, our execution wasn't the greatest. Breakdowns on the line. Jalen was sacked 6 times Sunday. That's the most so far this season. He's been sacked 6 times. The penalties, he was undisciplined. We know how to do a shift and we know how to do plays and formations. This is nothing new. Y'all can do this in y'all sleep. The illegal men downfield, I swear I hate that rule. I hate it because the linemen don't know if it's an RPO. They're not looking behind them to see, if it's a pass play or not. So that rule irks my nerves. But as far as execution, we didn't get done. Wasn't running routes, blocking. It was everything. We just shot ourselves in the foot that game.
Benny?
I agree with Diva and Key. Execution was garbage. Too many penalties. Some penalties shouldn't have been called, but of course it was called. But it was just straight garbage. Straight garbage. 5 weeks in, and none of that is cleaned up. I don't know what to expect.
We got a couple of comments here, so let's get to them real quick. So E-Money Bitley in the beating. E-Money says Eagles 56, Giants 17.
Damn. You must be playing Madden.
I'd be really happy. All right, Snowman is in the building. Snowman says, hey, Snowman checking in. Double hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. Okay. Rod is in the building. Rod Uncensored. He says, what's up? Fire the OC. He's messing with my crossplay time, a.k.a. Batman versus Catwoman time. Rod's wife's an Eagles fan, so yeah.
What up, Rod?
I feel it. Kurt Daly says, I'm not happy with the O-line. Kurt, if you were happy with how the O-line's played, I would have to give you a side eye. So I feel where you're coming from with that too. I'm actually going to touch on that. Rod also says, what's up, folks? The OC is calling plays like Brian Johnson. Here's what I'm going to say. I think execution definitely was a big part. And when the play calling is like as simple as it is right now, I think if the execution is not there, it makes it look even worse, right? There were plays where you can look at and just say that's a bad play call for sure. But I think execution, like the plays we've talked about, penalties, not getting your feet down in bounds, not running through your route, stuff like that. When you have those things happen, being like he about to knock somebody out right now. When you have those things happen, I think you kind of have to look at it like, all right, it's a combination, right? Execution, extremely poor, I think. Offensive line-wise, I think they weren't on the same page. They weren't getting the job done. They weren't protecting the QB, right? They weren't doing what they're supposed to do. So if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, it's not going to work. Point blank. And passes, you got to have time. Blocking assignments, you got to block correctly. And the line it wasn't the line that we're used to seeing. So when the line is not there, it does affect everything else. But still, you got to execute better at times when those things happen. Because nobody goes out and plays perfect football 4 quarters every game, right? But it's got to be more than what we're doing. All right, so next question. Defensively, I know where everybody want to jump to. I'm not going to tell you what to say. Defensively, what could we have done differently for them not to give out a gas that lasts about 10 minutes of the game? Because they all look gassed. Even Ringo found a way to run slower, and that's impressive. Slow as he already runs.
He already been running slow.
Yeah.
He just a hit.
David, what could we have done differently?
Stop that run game. Like, we've been getting ran on the past 2 games. I don't feel like we've been stopping the run game at all. I think that's one key factor. I really think what's hurting us, well, of course, the penalties that we had on the defensive side, but that CB 1 and 2 is really hurting us. I mean, because all the pressure is now left on Quinyon and Dijon, and then your edge rushers. So if they throwing down the field and they on the right-hand side, there's no help over there. So I think that's where a lot of our problems are coming from, is that CB2. I don't feel like we were getting enough pressure on Bo Nix. I know we got a little bit, but not like I'd like her, so that takes away from our edge rush. But yeah, I just think really stopping that run game and that CB 1 or 2, that's always going to be my thing. That CB 1 or 2 is garbage, and it puts a lot of strain on the other side.
Key?
We could have definitely stopped the run. I feel like Vic didn't adjust in this game. Usually, he's good with making adjustments. And knowing that the running game was killing us, I feel like, he should have stacked it a little bit. But then it's hard to stack the box when you got the corners we got. So, I mean, Quinyon definitely got hit this game. I feel like his stats was, he allowed more yards than he normally would. We ain't got to talk about Ringo. We ain't got to talk about Jackson. We already know how doo-doo butter they is. Before this trading deadline, how we got to do something. We got to make a call for CB for a corner. Or when Bennett comes back, then Bennett gets to start 9, because I feel like Bennett is more better out the 3. So when he was in the game, he did I forget what game he was in, but he did majority was stopping plays. So I just feel like Vic didn't make no adjustments for me. He can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. I thought it was me. We can't
My
hear
fault,
you.
my fault, y'all. So I put this one up there because it says, will you trade for another cornerback? Cornerback Jackson getting burned like MJ in the Pepsi commercial. Not just cornerback Jackson, cornerback 2, period, is getting burned. Like toast, extra crispy toast. Also, Vic says, what's good, everyone? What's good, Vic? Appreciate you tuning in with us tonight. Feel free to leave all your thoughts in the comments. That's what we're here for. Benny, your thoughts.
DTs need to get off the blocks a little bit quicker. Edge rushers need to get home quicker. Darius Smith, he's doing all he can, but he can't do it by himself. If we can get that together, and for them all to be on the same page and talk to each other, so these linebackers can do what they do to do the cleanup, that defense would have got off the field quicker. Stop the run. Give the cornerbacks, give Quinyon and DeJean enough time to make a play. I'm still not sold on Ringo.
What is the problem like?
It's all up to our defensive line. If our defensive line can get on the same page, talk to each other, just like the guys in the back end, if they can learn how to talk to each other, I think it would have been a different outcome.
I think the problem is a couple of different things. One thing is offenses now understand lineup traditionally, meaning you got your person split all the way out on your right-hand side. You're putting your other person over there as well. Then you have your tight end over there. So that's keeping DeJean on that side because he's QB, basically the nickel corner. So he's like the third corner / safety. So you're making sure he stays on one side of the field. Then you put your other receiver on the side of the field where Ringo or Jackson is at. That person's going to have a good chance to beat them and make a play. If that doesn't work, then you bring somebody across the field from the other side where they have to switch off, where Ringo's down on them, and that person can make a play. So the problem is going to be upgrading the corner position. I agree with Ja'Cory Bennett. When he gets back, he can be back. I think next week. So I think this is, if I remember correctly, I think this is the last game that he hasn't missed because they put him on IR because you have to miss 4 games. And the last game he played in was week 2. So he missed week 3, week 4, and he missed this one. So, no, it's only 3. All right, turn it. No, this will be 4. This will be 4. I'm tripping. My math is bad. So after this, we could possibly get him back, seeing what he looks like in an extended look on the outside. Because I feel like Ringo and Jackson are our best backups. Best we put them in a couple of plays when you need to and not together. Don't ever put them in together.
I thought he got hurt against Tampa Bay.
I thought he got hurt week 2.
No, he got hurt. Oh, it was against the Rams.
Yeah. So he can be back. Him and
the Rams on the field goal block.
Yeah, a bunch of them got hurt that week, and they can be back after this week. Some of them they may keep out because it'll be because after this, because our bye week, our bye is coming up after the second Giants game. I think is when our bye is, if I remember correctly. I ain't looking at the schedule, but I think the big thing is
Vic don't believe in Bennett though.
Well, if Vic has eyes, he better start believing in somebody. If he don't believe in Vic, he better go get somebody. I mean, I don't think it's that they don't believe in him. He played 2 weeks and he got hurt, so you can't use him now.
Well, I mean, I know, but I mean, the 2 times that he played, Vic wasn't high on him. That's why he started Adoree Jackson over him. And then Adoree Jackson got hurt, and that's the reason why he had to play.
I don't think it's that he's not high on. One of the things I remember about Vic from last year is Vic's very much like, I want you to know everything before I let you play, unless I have to. And I think he feels like Bennett came in late and he doesn't know everything yet. Maybe he didn't. I feel like it's more of that because he definitely was playing decent. But if he feels like he doesn't know the entirety of the playbook, and maybe doesn't because, like I said, he got there late, he doesn't know all the concepts and everything yet, that may be why he wasn't playing. If Vic just isn't high on Bennett, then his ability as a talent evaluator should definitely come into question. And I know the offense is basically him, but the defense is basically him. But if that's all you got, you gonna put that out there? Nah. Now, like I said, he did the same thing with DeJean. He didn't play him until he felt like he knew everything and he was comfortable. So if that's the situation, okay. By the time he gets back, we should see a lot more Jacorian Bennett. If we don't see more Jacorian Bennett, they better trade for somebody, because at corner 2 is a problem. And here in the comments is gonna tell you why. Number 1, y'all should have kept Isaiah Rodgers.
Got that right.
Vic agrees with that comment, with the fingers pointing up to it. Vic also says what I always say: letting Rodgers walk was a huge mistake. We've been lamenting that since it happened. And then Bennett was playing decently. I agree. The problem is, man, we hit every once in a while. A little bit off topic here, but we hit every once in a while. We go get somebody, we bring them in for like a year, and we hit. So Howie gets a little arrogant and feels like I can bring in whoever I want, and they can fill the spot. Because I know how to find people. And you're not understanding that starts that ugly, clunky part of the year all over again because they got to still gel together. You keep the same offense, the same defense, and then you change CB2. CB2 now doesn't know everybody. Everybody doesn't know CB2. So that's time for them to all gel again. And then we didn't just replace one person. We replaced a good amount of people on the defensive side of the ball. Vic says trade for Tariq Woolen. Hey, Howie's got to want to trade for somebody. I don't have a problem with that move, but he's got to want to trade. I don't know if I want him to trade for somebody. I'm sure we all do, but he got to want to do it. The other thing for me is understanding continuity. We won a Super Bowl last year, and we replaced all these dudes. And I get some of them leaving, but there were some guys, especially the secondary guys. Isaiah Rodgers, I feel like should still be here. CJ GJ, I think, should still be here. The guys that were playing in the secondary should still be here. You want to let the linemen go? Linemen, I get. But Howie's a little bit, I think, too arrogant sometimes on who he can go get for a bargain. You're not going to find many Isaiah Rodgers out there, and he should still build a team, but it is what it is. All right. Art of Official on the track says, I'm not having it. We just got to play with an edge like we do. KP calling his plays out there, shaking my head. Calling high school plays, excuse me. Yeah, that's part of it. I think, too, like, Ed, the player, the dudes, the mouth off. Rodgers, he getting your face and mouth off. CJ GJ getting your face and mouth off. You let him go. So it's also not just what you produce on the field, but how you affect the locker room and what you bring. Do you bring a little bit more of that dog to everybody around you because you're there? I don't think those things were taken into account when we allowed some people to leave or move some people. So there's that as well. Last thing we'll talk about for this game. I just open this up. Any thoughts that y'all want to communicate out there about what happened in that game, the loss, why we lost, any of that stuff? Benny, go ahead.
If I said
This is your
once, I'm
chance.
gonna say it again.
Talk
Hear me?
about it. Yeah, this is your chance. Talk about it.
Got to start using the middle of the field. They talk about doing explosive plays. The best explosive plays come from the middle of the field. You got your Jahan Dotson in the slot. Isn't that where you should have your number 3 receiver? Even though it's against our religion to throw to our third receiver, I guess we still have the Quez Watkins syndrome. But if you start using that middle of the field, I think that will open up a lot, especially in our running game. Because they as we see, everybody's going to AJ. Everybody know what type of routes he's running. Smitty ain't going to always give us 100 yards every game. If they just start using the middle of the field, we can make something happen. That's my. I just want to see that. I just want to see the middle of the field being used. Quick slants.
All right. Diva, your thoughts?
I don't got no thoughts. I'm ready to move on, and hopefully we learned our lesson. I hope that this was the loss that woke up Kevin Petula and Nick Sirianni. Like I said, I'm just, I'm more apprehensive about Kevin Petula. I don't really like the inside hires because I feel like Nick has a lot more control over them. So I'm just hoping that we don't see what we saw with Brian Johnson. And hoping that we finally wake up and play like we're supposed to play because we got a squad. I mean, we got so much talent on that O-line, so much talent on that defense, but it's just small things that we need to go ahead and fix now. And if not, we ain't going back to the Super Bowl. So ready to see what the rest of the week's that is ahead of us and how we're going to switch that up.
G?
Just same thing. We always been preaching every week. Consistency, great. 60 minutes of football. We already know how KP's going to play call, but hopefully this loss will wake up people. Well, wake up the team. Like, hey, this is not us. We can play better football than this. And we going to the Giants now. The Denver is over with. Got to focus on the Giants in this short week. So we just got to work. We got to focus on the Giants. And again, we get that 10-day rest. These guys going to need it. So hopefully we pull out a W. Ain't no hopefully. We're going to pull out a W and get the rest that these guys need.
All right. I want to say we've been teasing this for weeks. We haven't been executing properly for long periods of time. The difference is we have a defense that can at least stop guys most of the game. If you can get them breaks, they can stop guys, right? This is not the defense we had in 2023. We got somebody in the comments, Vic, he says we're having 2023 all over again. My take on that is simply, the offense isn't looking as good. But if you remember in 2023, the offense was actually playing well, and the defense was the problem. Mm-hmm. The defense is playing well. The offense has times. The big issue is how we're using everything. And also remember, it took us 5-6 weeks. Well, it took us 5 weeks last year. One of them was the off week, which we don't have early. The bye week last year we had earlier. So we kind of use that to get ourselves together. It's later this time, so it might be a little bit more tricky, but it's going to take, it was always going to take some time. I think we may have had the expectation as fans that we were going to come in to 2025, but we were just going to pick up where we left off. The offense was going to be the same. The defense was maybe not going to be as good, but still was going to be really good. But you have to understand, every year we're changing coordinators. When you have to, especially offensive coordinator, when you change coordinators, it's always differences. It takes some time for it to get together, but we get into the point where it's like, bro, you got to figure something out. If Nick's in your ear telling you some stuff to do and it's not working, then use your common sense and stop doing some of those things. We need our quarterback to say, hey, bro, some of this stuff ain't working. We're not going to do that. We're going to call some plays that we know work, whether it's some stuff we worked on that he don't know about or not. At the end of the day, I feel like this is Jalen Hurts' offense, and he's the one that has got to step up and say, all right, we got to do more. And I'm hoping that that's what they told him in that meeting. And I'm hoping that they focus on that and try to get that together. Offensively, defensively, they got to play well, but that second cornerback, that's got to be addressed. Like I said, if for some reason they don't want to believe in Bennett, then go get somebody. But we cannot keep marching out Ringo and Jackson and act like we're trying to win games. These are not starters in the NFL. And cornerback, you have to have a guy that has the talent to start and the skills and understanding. Other positions you kind of get by, but cornerback, a lot of times they're out on the island. They got to be able to play, and some of these guys can't do it. Vic also says Giants are down to their third, fourth, and fifth wide receivers for Sunday. This is true, but at the end of the day, Vic, even with that, whoever be on that left side, they're going to look like they're the number one receiver that week if they can keep these guys out there.
Ain't
That's
that
just
true?
as real as I can get with it. Because that side, you got two dudes with lead foot. One dude doesn't even have footwork with lead feet. The other dude got a little bit of footwork, but he still got lead feet, so it's still a problem. And that's what I think is big concerns for me, and what has been concerns for me going into the games. We've been talking about it on here. We winning games, but we're not winning the right way. The good thing I'll say is history says when we lose a game like this, that normally they go and they make the correct adjustments and we come out and start looking better. Hopefully that happens again. We can't guarantee it. All we can do is hope. Doughboy says, why is Eagles offense having problems with zone NFL defenses? Blocking is not there. I think scheme, it's just having a new coordinator. It's a lot of these things is having a new coordinator, and it's got to get better. But we should have known it would be, some suffering at the beginning. I'm glad we 4-1 because we could have lost more games than that. And then Doughboy says Kevin Tula hasn't stopped with this conservative basic play calling on offense. I won't argue with that at all. I do also agree with you that they don't see an identity or balance on offense. I agree with that as well. Identity last year was run the ball. This year is whatever's happening, and it's got to be a little bit better. Vic says we have a championship caliber team with a tiny window to go back to back, and we waste the opportunity to give the office a coordinator position to someone who's learning on the job. I mean, I can't argue with that statement either. Says we're wasting the players who are at the peak of their career. So far, we are. Let's just hope that as the year goes on, we get a little bit more into things. We get a little bit more. Let's do this. Let's make some things happen, and we make some things happen. The big focus for me is we got to make sure that we plug that hole at second corner. However we do that, that's got to happen before the trade deadline. Once we get that done, whether that's, like I said, Bennett or somebody else, we've then got to make sure that they get a chance to all play together and everything. Because think about it right now. I mean, even in this game, right, depth was an issue. If everybody's healthy, which we don't have, we got several people on IR that are important pieces to the team. Those guys get themselves back in shape. Hopefully we start to have some depth on the edge. We get other guys getting a chance to play. We get a chance to do some things differently. We get a chance to do more stunts, be more aggressive on defense because we have a full roster of healthy guys. So hopefully that's part of the issue on the defensive side of the ball because it did look gassed. But offensively, what we can do to help this team is they got to maintain the ball longer. Even if you're not scoring, you can't be going 3 and out. You can't be taking sacks, Jalen. You got to run the ball. You got to get rid of the ball. And Jalen, please, Jalen, when you are going to run, take the ball down and run the freaking ball. You can't, am I going to run? Am I going to run? I don't know. Oh, yeah, you already hit by then.
Am I going to throw? Am I going to run and then throw and then run some more?
Right. Yeah, you can't do that. You got to make a decision to go with it. Hopefully they talk to you about that too. I think the reason that it was just those three in the meeting is because they were technically the offensive captains. I think they got a couple of other people as well, but they're like the main offensive captains. But just get the information out. Get everything right with everybody before tomorrow. That's all I'm asking. All right. Cooper G says, go Birds. Cooper G also says, what's up, everyone? Then Vic says, I understand the Cooper DeJean plays great against the run, but when are we going to bite the bullet and move him to CB2? I got to be honest, Vic. I'll let everybody else get their thoughts on this too, and then we'll move to the game against the Giants. We won't even worry about nothing else besides that. I don't know if we're going to get the same production out of Cooper DeJean if we move him to cornerback too. I think like Cooper G said, like him at nickel. Because if you put him at outside corner, let's just say for the sake of argument, he plays well at outside corner. Okay, who's going to play nickel? Then we got the same problem at nickel. And But at nickel, you got to have a guy who can hit, and you got to have a guy who can cover. So who else do we have on this roster that we feel like could be a good nickel corner this time? So that's the problem to me. If you move him from nickel, I would like to bring in a guy that we're just going to use on the outside and leave him at nickel. And if you want to maybe a couple of packages, you move him out, then that's cool. But I think more him playing that hybrid role, part safety, part corner, is the best thing for the team and his skill set. That's just me, but that's my thoughts on it. All right. Cooper G says not opposed to him at CB2. Vic says we put Cooper in a box. Cooper G says he's just a solid ball player all around. Great IQ, great nose for the ball, great feet, and great tackling. No, I don't disagree with any of those things. Vic says Bennett, yeah. Says he played nickel. He did play some nickel, but he played more on the outside. Cooper says that Vic, I do want to see more of Bennett at some point. Yeah, he's hurt right now. When he gets back, we should see more of him on the outside. Vic says 100. Vic 3 says 100 there. I think I think we traded for Bennett to have him be the second corner, but I feel like for whatever reason, Vic didn't feel like he was ready by the beginning of the year. So it's one of them things like we had last year in my mind, what we had with DeJean. We need to get him in. He need some time to learn. And then once he gets up to par, then we can throw him out there to second corner and let him ride with it. But I'm still concerned, even if you do that, with these dudes you got behind him. Something happened to him or Quinyon Mitchell, we in a lot of trouble. We're going to have to, man, ain't even going to go into that. We hope nothing happens. But even if they need to miss a few plays, that could be problematic. All right, y'all, what's y'all thoughts? Y'all think we should
I mean, I'd rather have Coop on the nickel too. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed if it does switch things up. I forget the one game he was on the outside and he didn't do bad. I mean, he was good on defense that game. I forget which game that was. He did get more time at CB2 and not the nickel. But I mean, I wouldn't be opposed of shaking things up. I mean, something got to give. I just don't want us to get burnt on one side, and you can't leave it all on Q. And then if it's not Q, then it's Reed getting hit. So, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed of it.
What do you, Benny?
It's worth a shot. But who do we have to back up? Who's Coop's backup? McMillan? McWilliams?
I think so.
But is he capable to hold down that spot if Coop moved to the outside?
I mean, I haven't seen anything to make me believe he would be.
Because what if we move Coop? Okay, we move Coop to opposite of Mitchell, and then they start attacking inside. Moving him, it's a win-win loss situation. Yeah, you get those two outside receivers locked down, but you also got the middle wide open. Not saying that I don't know too much about McWilliams. Didn't see enough of him in the preseason. But if he can hold it down, I don't got a problem. I wouldn't have a problem with Coop going to the other side. If anybody is better than Jackson, Keeley, Rick being in that middle.
Fair enough. All right. So we got a game tomorrow night. So good people, we're gonna freak it this way for this. Start with you, Key, then you, Benny. What do the Eagles need to do to win the game against the Giants tomorrow night?
So I know in the film they were looking at Jackson Dart, ways of slowing him down, how to get Saquon going in the offensive line. So I just feel like again with this game we have to be balanced somehow because it was too many passes versus the run last game. Keep it balanced going. Play action. Pass downfield. The running game opens up the passing game. You got to be balanced. Again, if you're gonna do screens, don't do it with Smitty. He only a toothpick size, and every big hit I cringe every time he gets hit, but he pops back up. So don't do no screens with Smitty. Do a screen with Jahan, or you got to use Saquon over a screen, a halfback screen. Then do that. Please don't use Smitty because he scares me every time he gets smacked. But play disciplined football. We don't need no more flags like we did last week. Everybody be on the same page. This is the week we make the run. After that Tampa Bay game, that's when rain, sleet, and snow, the Eagles trained to go, in the words of Jalen Hurts. So you got to keep things moving. We got to start early. We got to capitalize early. We got to score on at least every possession. I don't care if it's a touchdown. Got to get Jake Elliott involved, at least get in field goal range to score some type of points. That's the thing. We didn't score enough points to beat Denver. So we can't keep going 3-and-out, and have our defense keep bailing us out. And then they're going to get tired, and then that's when shenanigans happen. So consistent football, stick with the game plan, have a game plan, and just execute like we know how we execute. So hopefully this whole experience is positive. They can go out and show it.
What you got, Benny?
Balance. The offense has to be balanced. You gotta start using Corey Dillon some. Use a little bit
AJ.
of AJ. Yeah, damn. Corey Dillon on my mind. AJ Dillon.
He haven't played in years.
He may be related. I don't know. Use a little bit of Shipley. Because I don't see enough of AJ Dillon because he when he do get his opportunities, he makes the best of it. And I know everybody is keen on Saquon. You got to start using AJ Dillon because he's the key. What you getting for? You got him just to sit on the sidelines. You gotta get him involved. Even if you don't, he's a good pass catcher out of the backfield too. Hell of a catcher coming out the backfield, but gotta be balanced. If the more balanced the offense is, the fresher the defense will stay, and the better they can, play. Because if you don't be balanced, too many 3-and-outs, defense gonna get gassed again.
All right, so I'm gonna just go with the comments here. We just gotta play Eagles football. We're gonna get through these comments here. So Vic says, I think we see the stubbornness that the Dolphins were complaining about when Vic was there. Also, Cooper says you guys might have touched on this, but what are we going to do with Nakobe Dean? I will get him some snaps in this game here. I think once he gets back, that'll allow us to have some flexibility with Bond. Maybe a couple of weeks down the line, if we feel better about our young boy at linebacker too, we'll be able to have a little bit more flexibility and we have a rotation. And whoever is not the one that's on the field at the time or whoever's playing out of position, I think we'll still be able to have some impact in the game and be a little bit fresher when they do play. So to give us a little bit more depth. And I know Bond could flip outside a little bit. Campbell has done that before, but I just would like for him to learn everything for his current position first. And then if you want to kind of say, all right, like you got this down, then we're going to get you on the outside a little bit, I might have a problem with that either. The more the merrier for me. The more talent at linebacker, the merrier, because for years, we were just bereft of talent there. So, hey, keep it all. Figure out a way to make it work. You guys agree?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then Cooper says when he gets back rolling, of course. Yep, absolutely. Cooper says our O-line needs to perform better tomorrow. Giants D-line can ruin our offensive game plan quick. They are that good. Other than that, we stomp on them everywhere else. Okay. Vic says, I believe he's trying to say offense. I know how it is. We be trying to type, might be on the road or whatever, or correct. Autocorrect be killing you. Our offense hurts. We can't let them constantly pass protection get beat up by the defensive line. We need to be the aggressor. We need to run early and run often. And we got enough people where we should be doing that with everybody. It doesn't have to be on one person. Vic says Saquon Barkley is actually the key to getting this offense going, especially the passing game. I'm going to slightly edit your comment and say the running game in total, because you can still use Shipley. You can still use Dillon to get more yards and not always be Saquon, because I feel like when Saquon's in the game, the whole thing is stop him. When some of the other guys are in, they might see a more balanced defense because they're not Saquon. So I think you need to get the other guys involved too, but definitely we got to control the trenches. Cooper says, like the mentality at Vic 3. Yeah, I mean, it's not really much more to be said about the Giants game. I think it should be a get right game for us. We should go in here and take care of business in this game. And also, get that feeling back, because it feels like the wins out of even you guys, right? Like even us on the show, it feels like the win out of ourselves this week. We're not just saying same hype and everything because we got that L. But guess what? L's happen. I don't like losing, but hopefully, again, like I said earlier, this is the thing that bumps us and gets us right and gets us to the next level. So, that being said, man, only thing left to say, appreciate y'all for hopping on. Appreciate everybody in the comments. Always fly, Eagles fly. Always hashtag be elite. Anything else y'all want to say, Benny and Key, before we get up out of here?
Go Birds!
Anything else, Key?
Phillies hat off already. Take this Phillies hat off already. That's all I'm going to say.
Should have never put it on. But hashtag fly, Eagles fly, hashtag be elite. See y'all next week. Hopefully we can be talking about another win and talking about some adjustments being made to how this game is being called, or at least how it's being executed. See y'all next week.
Back to work.